If you watched my last vlog recently, I might look a little bit like I'm sitting in the same spot with the same damp hair and the same shirt. It is the 4th. I just did the wrap up for the last vlog. Baby did nap today. Other kids were not as bad as yesterday, and I have not been reading much or doing much of anything else other than the absolute necessities. What time I could squeeze, I squeezed for writing. I have 691 words, I think, and I am a little busy with a Zoom meeting this evening, and I'm gonna at least get to that 1,000 words. I don't know that I'm gonna do much toward making up for the 1,000 I missed yesterday, but thus far I have her in health class. So she has had a little bit of a communication from someone who has made a zine. She doesn't know what a zine is, and she has now sort of found a spot where she can pass notes without this person revealing themselves. She's feeling a little bit like this is cool and a little bit bummed because she has the sense that the reason that this person is communicating in this secretive way is because she's such a, toxic commodity socially that people don't want to publicly admit that they would be friends with her. Anyway, then health class, and just like the thought of 7th grade health class, oh my goodness. Anyway, that was a little bit fun. Just went off on like trying to imagine what possesses a person to become a middle school health teacher. Like they somehow made it through middle school health classes and were like, I'm gonna do this all day, every day, for the rest of my life. I will teach mortified children about armpit hair and acne, and it's gonna be awesome. So that was fun. She is having to choose a topic for her big health presentation, and she ends up choosing a topic that relates to her friend's sister and what she said, and she's gonna learn some stuff. Although mostly she chose this topic so she wouldn't have to mention menstruation in front of the whole school. So on Monday the 4th, I did make it through just over 1,000 words. I think it was 1,067, and then came yesterday, which was Tuesday the 5th, and I was working on that vlog that I just put up, and I finally got it all done. This is my nap window, and I got out my laptop and I typed 2 words and the baby made waking up noises. I was like, oh man, 2 words, literally chapter 12. So I thought that was it. I was like, oh, I give up. She settled herself back down, which she basically never does. And I managed to get out an additional 290 words. So 292 during nap/quiet time. And then in the evening, I was hanging out in live streams again, and it was really slow, but I made it to 8:08 for the day. She has just had it's sinking in this realization that she's not straight. And as soon as she can't not look at it anymore, as soon as it really hits her, she feels like anyone who looks at her will see it in her face. She's feeling so raw and naked, exposed, vulnerable, every glance in her direction is scalding her. It's excruciating. So it's excruciating to write. It was slow. It was hard, and I am impressed that I got 808 at all. As for today, it's Wednesday the 6th, and I have done nothing so far, but it's 10 something in the morning. And then I didn't write a single word on the 6th, and partly I was exhausted. I wore myself out trying to wear my kids out, and like it worked. I got my kids exhausted too, but I was just so pooped that all I wanted to do was read. And I read this in 24 hours, less than 24 hours. It's so good. And I'm really frustrated. I have to wait 6 months for her next thriller to come out. At any rate, strongly recommend if you are at all into YA thrillers or like anything that explores class issues and how that impacts education and stuff like that. So that was the 6th down the drain. On the 7th, which was yesterday, I did hit my 1K goal. I think it was like 1,085. I'm not making any progress toward catching up to those now 2 days of 0 words. But yesterday was good in that it was a rainy day and it just felt cozy, and it was a Thursday. Marcus and Matilda, writer Marcus Regius and Matilda is the nerdy book nerd. They were streaming, and Thursdays are my favorite because of their streams, and so I managed it. And so far today, and it is a time I should be making dinner. I'm not making dinner. Canned soup. Canned soup is the answer to nano events when you have large families. So I've written 520 words, and that is good. That is going to be a good start. Make it easy to say, well, I'm already halfway there. I'll just write another 500 words in the evening, right? I hope that's my goal. When last I recapped, my protagonist was just sort of reeling from her like self-realization and feeling really exposed. And so she's getting through that, although a little freaked out still, and she has decided that the way she's going to approach things, step 1 is to she's showing her parents this zine that she has found, this queer positive zine, and like feeling out their reaction. So I did not write more. 520 was it for the 8th. I think I'm right about that. The 8th. And then came the 9th, and I was gonna wait until the 10th to send out more queries, but then I saw this manuscript wish list tweet that someone had sent out just 16 hours before that was too deliciously perfect. So I got really, really, really excited, and I had to query that agent, and then I was like, well, if I'm starting on that, I was also like to focus on writing another book. And so I just worked on sending out some more queries. And so I was like, okay, whatever. I was gonna lose a day to that probably at some point this month, send out another batch, and resign myself to it. And then in the evening, I asked my husband if he wanted to watch this DVD that we had out from the library, and he was like, let's plan on that for tomorrow. And I was like, oh, so now do I have to write? Like, I'll just try and write like 500 words so I don't fall too much farther behind. And I wrote 1,035. So yay. So I am just below 7K. I should be at 9. But that's within the realm of reason. I don't feel too bad about it. I am a little concerned. Oop, rain coming down. I am a little concerned about things moving too slowly. But I remember feeling that way about a lot of things, and I think that's just the way it is at the start of Act 2. Not necessarily that like I have a pacing problem, although maybe I do, but that it's just a draggy part to write. Like, the writing feels slow, so it might not be that the stuff is slow, but I think it may be a little introspective. But maybe also I need to do that and just mess around in her head to get my character's voice, and then trim out parts that I don't need. We'll see. At this point, she got a pretty good reception for the zine from her parents, which was sort of feeling out how they would react to this in order to get a sense of how they will react to her if she decides to come out to them. She's still feeling like she's not clear on labels. She's having a hard time even thinking about it, but she has admitted it to herself. She's continuing to connect with a couple of people that she had never really interacted with before. This outcast girl and another girl who just sort of doesn't care, which is really refreshing. And she is trying to do research for her health class project, and is for the first time bumping into or not bumping into books that should be on the shelf, and she hasn't quite understood yet why that books are being challenged at her school, but so that is starting to happen, as well as some fun librarian characters, lesbian librarians. It's maybe a tired trope, but she's like realizing that about a librarian that she's known for a long time and cared about. So that's cool. And we have geese honking on by. Happy spring, even if it feels like winter still here in Vermont. So that's me. That's where I'm at. I am behind, but I'm not too worried about that. I'm a little worried about the book, but I'm also a little bit like worry about everything at this stage. Just need to get through it. So until next time, I am Moon Petrie, and wish me luck.